What are the drills for? It's a fair question. Some coaches just see them as warm-ups, and some coaches see them as your lifeline to improving your performance. I'm somewhere in the middle. Do you need to be perfect at them? No, but can they relate to the things that you're doing on the track? Yes. My name is Coach Show, your Lululemon ambassador, and we're going to talk drills today. When to use them, what they're supposed to be used for, and how to select what is necessary to improve your performance. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go. I break my drills down into two categories. We have acceleration-based drills. We have our max velocity-based drills. In fact, our warm-up right now follows this same flow. We'll do our Accel-focused drills, then some accelerations, then we do our max velocity-based drills, and our upright running. It's not a flow for everybody. I want to let you into my world of how we do things and why we do things. Without any further ado, let's get into this. These might be drills you're familiar with, and some of them might be new. Either way, first, acceleration-based drills to me are any drill that separate the heel and the hamstring. Athletes in the acceleration should feel a distant relationship between the heel and the hamstring. The line of force is up and down, back and forth. There is no connection between the heel and the hamstring. This kind of thinking is important for me because I want to know how to compartmentalize things. The first drill on my list is the A march. The A march is a great drill for athletes just to warm up, get to position, fill positions with low speeds. I want the ankle off the ground. I want the arms moving like you're sprinting, and I want a snappy action into the ground. I want the foot, when it comes up, to come down nice and powerfully. Snappy. We talked about relaxed running and how to be relaxed, and that's how we can be aggressive. Relax should be snappy. Drill number 2 is the A skip. This is a staple in everyone's program. A skip has the same principles as an A march. It still has lower speeds, but we have to obviously bring some momentum into this one. I still want the same things. I want the heel off the ground. I want the knee coming up and down with that shin vertical. I want the ankle locked and ready for a snappy ground contact. I want the arms moving in a sprint action. I want the chest tall, but not all the way vertically straight. A little bit of forward lean is just fine. The A skip has multiple variations that I won't touch on here, but the A skip should look like an acceleration. To me, the A skip is the closest drill to an acceleration. The athlete is in a 45-degree angle thereabouts when running. This A skip drill, obviously, we're more upright. But if I was to orient the athlete this way, I want nothing to change about their foot action, their shin action, their knee action, their arm action. I want nothing to change. To get the athlete to feel the A skip in an angled position, we would put them on the wall. So naturally, the next drill is a wall accel. The athlete is wall supported with their feet behind them. And just like they would with the A skip, the leg comes forward and back, forward and back. Remember to keep the heel away from the hamstring, and you have a damn near perfect accel. This wall accel would be marching first. Next would be a running wall accel. Just like we went from marching to skipping with the A skip, we would go from marching to running on the wall accel. This gets the athlete to feel the timing challenge of running faster and executing the technique necessary to accelerate properly. The last drill we do on the wall is an accel to upright run. This drill allows the athlete to feel the transition between the acceleration and upright running. The athlete starts in a 45-degree angle or so, hands supported on the wall, feet behind them. Their heels are off the ground. Core is tight, glutes are engaged, head is down. Just like the wall accel march, chin is down, glute engaged, heels are off the ground, hands are supporting the body on the wall. The athlete will run themselves up into tall position. The feet start behind and gradually run the body upright. This drill can be done marching or running. A switch simply has the athlete alternate their legs between flight time. The athlete will push themselves into the air, and as one leg is coming up, the other leg is coming down at the exact same rate. If someone was to take a picture of this athlete, they'll never find a moment where the athlete isn't either here or here. They have to alternate at the same rhythm, using a vertical component to do so. Same thing as the A skip and the A march. I want the ankle nice and high off the ground. I want the foot locked and loaded for quick ground contact. And I want the arms moving in a sprint manner. The next acceleration-based drill we do is the 6-meter Accel, the 6-meter drill. 6-meter drill is a frequency-based drill, stride frequency-based drill. I want the athlete to get 6 steps in to the 6-meter zone that we set up. Coaches or athletes, if you're doing this on your own, you'll measure 6.1 meters from the start line. And the point is to get your feet moving quickly, to think about the foot returning back underneath you and not maximizing your stride length. It is a drill. It's a frequency drill. Do we want to run this tight in a race? No. But do we want frequency out of our acceleration? Yes. We do Accels as well. 2-point, 3-point, 4-point. The idea is do everything you've done in the prior drills in the acceleration here in your Accels. Block drills. Before you jump into the blocks and start running all out, these are drills that we do to prime our body. Number 1, a 2-foot broad jump. Both feet are on the pedals. The athlete broad jumps as far as they can to maximize their distance and executes a 2-foot landing. When the athlete is ready to go from the standing position, they'll lower their feet into the pedals, their hips will go back, the body will load, the knees will bend, and the athlete jumps out, just like a normal broad jump. Arms should be utilized to maximize distance. We will progress that to a 2-point stance Accel. The athlete puts both feet on the pedals and they push from a standing position. We'll advance that to a 3-point stance Accel. The athlete puts one hand down, and lastly, a full block start at 4-point. Max velocity drills. These are drills that connect the heel and the hamstring. So completely different vibe now. We want the heel separated in the acceleration. Now we want the heel connected in max velocity. Our first drill is the B skip. The athlete will not kick out in this drill, which is normally taught. I want the foot nice and tight and sweeping underneath the hips. As the heel comes up towards the hamstring, there's a slight deviation from vertical of the shin, but not a kick out like most people know the B skip to be. Keep the heel tight, pull it underneath. Next would be fast leg. And fast leg comes with a wide variety of drills. And certainly you can get creative with these drills. For the sake of the video, we'll talk about the standard single leg cycle and alternating cycle. In a fast leg drill, this is teaching the body thigh angular velocity, meaning when the knee or the thigh is up, it is the job of the glutes and the hamstrings to pull it underneath very fast. Hence the name fast leg. The athlete continues that action on one side. So typically we'll start with the right leg and then we do there and back with the right leg and we'll switch legs. This allows for isolation and timing on each side of the body. Maybe there's a deviation in execution. We don't want to rush through things. We're also trying to use these drills to expose weaknesses in our movement. Fast leg can be done continuous, like each stride. Fast leg can be done continuous, where each stride the athlete goes into the sprint cycle. This is great for working on timing. It could also be done non-consecutive, allowing the athlete just to feel the timing of it without feeling rushed. without feeling rushed between the sprint actions. The last variation of the fast leg we'll touch today is the alternating. From right to left, there will be a few steps between each stride, but the action still needs to be vigorous and fast. If you think you're moving fast, move faster. We're trying to teach the glute and the hamstring to move quickly through the air, back underneath our hips. Butt kicks. This is a controversial one, not because of the drill, but because of how it's taught. The athlete will lift the heel toward the hamstring. The athlete will keep the heel underneath the hamstring, popping the heel up toward the hamstring with the knee pointing out. Think about the thigh. I should be able to put something on top of the thigh at the very top of the movement. That's as much heel to hamstring connection that is necessary. The athlete will put the foot down underneath and move to the other side. If the foot goes toward the glute, the knee will point down. If the heel does not come up toward the hamstring and goes a little bit toward the knee, that's when we get a high knee. And we do not want either the high knee nor the downward knee of a butt kick. We want to keep everything going out. The next max velocity drill is a little bit counterintuitive. I did say I want the heel and the hamstring connected here, but a great drill is a straight leg bound. Straight leg bound does not connect the heel and the hamstring, but it does teach the glute and the hamstring how to move through space. A small to big straight leg bound. The athlete has their hands on their hips, or they could be moving them as well, but I would prefer hands on the hips. And I want the single leg bound to start small. The foot is dorsiflexed or the ankle is tight. Foot is pulling underneath the athlete's center of gravity. The next drill is our A runs. A run, we do A runs to mimic the cyclical action of sprinting. This is what perfect max velocity sprinting looks like at a very slow pace. The athlete starts in place and the athlete thinks about riding a big bike. The heel comes toward the hamstring, the shin stays nice and vertical, doesn't get away from us, and the foot comes down toward the athlete's center of mass. As the athlete is running down the track, they should pick up speed as they go. The speed of the thigh moving downward should increase the speed of the athlete. We're in upright position. The chest should be tall with the shoulders leading down the track. The heel comes up nice and high toward the hamstring. A cue that might be helpful for you on this drill is to think about stepping over your other knee. Your foot is like a pogo stick. It's ready to bounce off the track. We want to invite flight time into the A run. Our next drill combines two. It's a straight leg bound to A run. The athlete starts in a straight leg bound, nice big, pulling the foot underneath. They should feel fast, and gradually they turn that straight leg action into a cycle or a cyclical action. The heel comes up toward the hamstring. The shoulders go from being vertical to a little bit forward, and the athlete introduces more of a sprint cycle with the arms. Distance for this drill should be no less than 30 meters. Ankling. Ankling is a great series of drills. The team at Altus does a fantastic job of teaching this. I'll give my version, but certainly tap in with their content to learn more about how ankling should look. Ankling is a modified version of our A run. I think it's important that the athlete learns the A run first before working at smaller ranges of motion. Ankling starts like you're doing an A run, but just over the shape of your ankle, over the side of the ankle. This reinforces good frontside mechanics and a good posture of the upper body. Ankling turns to the shin, stepping through the midpoint of the shin. And then last but not least is where we find our A runs that we touched on already. The foot should stay nice and locked. The athlete is working on being quick. These are drills that are commonly used, but maybe we didn't know how to execute them or things to look for. I hope this helped. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I did not talk about C-skips as I don't use that drill. I'm not an enemy of them. They just don't have any place in our program. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and until the next one, peace.